the nuke button. She's gonna get her period and then be like, oh my God,
well, how about
that country said something about me. World War III.
Well, would it be okay for a woman to be elected if she is going through menopause? Because, I remember, when I was younger, I used to see judges quite often when I was young, especially with my 20s. And a lot of these judges were females. And I was always thinking, man, I hope it's not that time of the month because this bitch is going to ring me up. And, I was, you see like one guy get rung up before you, another guy get rung up before you. And then you're like, uh-oh.
When we're in menopause, we're crazy too. It's like, you've never seen like a woman going through menopause? Like it's like they lose their minds.
My mother, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, no, I just think the root of all evil was when they said to women that you're equally as capable of making decisions as men. I think that was the root of all evil because it was a lie. It's not true.
Malik, in Kenya, are these women running around demanding this and that like they do in Entitled America?
Not before, but right now, yes, because now we're in this new age.
And so they're Americanized over there too.
They're trying to.
They want to get their bag from the man too over there now, huh?
Culturally, traditionally, and the customs out there won't allow it. So it's like unnatural, and it's something really, really strange. But the powers, all these World Bank and whoever they are, who's trying to run the show, is trying to make everybody, toe the line and make homosexuality legal, which is...
Oh, that ain't going to happen in Africa, is it?
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen in Africa. I'll go there. Malik, I will go to your country and protest against it. I'll be like, listen, when it comes to homosexuality, don't listen to the white man. Don't ever listen to white men on that garbage because that's what they promote. I honestly thought 10 years ago it was a white man disease. I really thought that's what it was because it was just spreading. But now I understand it's an agenda and they start pushing this stuff in schools. Malik, let me ask you something. How many wives are you allowed to have in Kenya?
In Africa, there's no limit.
What'd you say?
You can have as many as you want.
So you could have 4, 5, 6, 7?
As many as you want. That's just traditionally custom. According to custom, that's how it is. But in Islam, you can only have 4.
I see. Okay. So when it comes down to you, how many wives have you had, sir?
It's a bit personal. I'm not going to say.
Okay.
They come and go.
They come and go?
They come and go. Gary, I've been rotating a theory about homosexuality. I think it's kind of avant-garde. Not too many people have explored this, but I genuinely think this is true. I think the onslaught of homosexuality is stemming from the dating market is so steep. It's so competitive now to lock down a truly good woman. What is the only community in the world who will accept you for who you are, no matter how disgusting, portly, fat, corpulent, doesn't matter how ugly and grotesque you are. You can get fucked in the gay community without any credentials. You don't need any resume. You will find someone to get laid. So you can be the most grotesque loser on planet Earth and the gay community will accept you. There's no standards in the gay community. And I do believe a lot of men are abandoning their posts and going AWOL and going into the gay community simply because it's that tough on the heterosexual side.
You're telling me you think that there's a lot of gay men in the world right now because they can't get some pussy?
100%. I think they're exploring. I think they're porno brain, first of all. I think porn absolutely is a gateway to homosexuality because your dopamine is so torched and so fried. I mean, look at Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was banging hookers every day for years. He could no longer get an orgasm unless he started sucking dick. That's literally the gateway. So I do think men are abandoning their posts and being very experimental in this community because this community will accept you for who you are no matter what kind of blemishes you have on your record. In the heterosexual community, we know there's power dynamics. You cannot escape being somebody as a man to get a good wife.
Yeah, well, you even see it in prison. Like I've seen interviews of guys that said they were straight when they went into prison and they adapt. I mean, like, arguably sex is a need for men, so if they don't get it from women, it's like...
Defense mechanism.
Yeah. I wonder what % of gay people would be gay if they had, like, the opportunity to date a model.
I think a lot of people in today's society might be because they were raised by single mothers and didn't have any masculine energy around
Well,
them.
that could
I think that's probably the biggest thing, because if you look at it, there's so many more single mothers today, and I believe there's a lot more people today. It looks like a correlation to me. Obviously, they're still pushing this garbage in the school system, brainwashing people. And by the way, women bought that shit up hook, line, and sinker.
We're just dummies. We're idiots.
That's why the government loves you.
Yeah, like, and I tried to like not come to this conclusion until I just saw the things, like, as a collective we were like voting for. I was like, we have had so much choice in the last 100 years. We've like had more choice. We could be anything, and we've chosen to be whores. 1 out of 25 of us under 35 are on OnlyFans, and I didn't.
Shut OnlyFans
and
down.
I didn't even include women that accept like Instagram sex. Only imagine this, and Zerka brought this up on a podcast. Only 4% of us are virgins on our wedding days. all we had to do was think, wait till 22, 21, go get like a Saudi prince, you're a virgin. But none of us thought of that. We're idiots.
Oh, you could have got a big bad.
I know. I didn't think of it.
Could you imagine,
like,
girls?
I heard something.
Keep your legs closed and you get paid, ladies.
I know.
I
And
heard,
it's like, we're dummies.
I heard something that made me laugh recently. They said any time a woman sleeps with a partner before marriage, that's her cheating on her future husband.
I agree.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's all manufactured, because naturally and traditionally, people weren't just sleeping around. Not really, You had to, get married first. And fornication really is for married couples.
What about your brother Barack?
I can't say.
Was he a ladies' man before he got with Michelle?
Yeah, well, when I first met him, he was with Sheila.
Sheila?
Yeah, there's a lady called Sheila. So.
Sheila sounds like a cartoon character.
No, she was a nice
Wasn't
lady.
it like some kind of like He-Man, She-Ra or something like that? I'm going flashback to the 80s. Sorry,
just
show my
lady,
age.
Some lady, so, I guess.
So she was a lady, though?
She was a lady.
Okay. Well, we're cooking now, so what else?
Was?
She was, that is like in the past, so we're talking about past tense, Yeah.
Because right now it looks like
1985.
Looks like she has a contract as a lineman for the Chicago Bears.
I haven't seen her in a long time, so.
When's the last time you saw Michelle?
Michelle, when was it? 2008.
2009. 2009?
At the inauguration.
Okay,
yeah.
You were at her wedding in 92.
Yeah.
And then you were over there in 2009.
Yeah.
In that 17 years, did she become a bodybuilder? Like, how did she pick up like so much mass?
You tell me. I don't know.
I mean, this is your field, brother. How does a woman she looked like she was about 135, 140 pounds at her wedding date. How does she look like a fucking linebacker now? Is that possible?
Linebacker. Pro Bowl.
Brian Urlacher, huh?
She's got a 4.240.
I mean, all jokes aside, that's a scary bitch.
She's got a V taper.
She keeps
Have you seen the V
changing.
taper?
She loses weight. She adds weight. So I don't know. She's just like amorphous.
Is she taking steroids, in your opinion?
Could be.
100%.
I don't know.
She's on anabolics
There's
guaranteed.
something going on there. I don't know what it is.
She's running the Holy Trinity. HGH, DECA, little test base, little Anavar for breakfast.
Why would you do that? Doesn't that like look bad?
It's got to be some kind of cultural programming, right?
Listen, that picture you showed me, and we'll put it up when we start doing clips, that you showed me of Michelle Obama at her wedding. She looked like a woman to me.
Yeah,
she looked like a straight woman. When you met Michelle Obama in 1992, she looked like a woman, correct?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she was svelte. I saw pictures of her. She was svelte. She was lithe, walking through the room, petite.
Yeah.
Now, her delts are bigger than mine.
How is that possible for a woman?
It's not.
A lot of strange things going on now. Maybe it's not her. Maybe it's somebody else.
Okay. So is it possible, in your opinion, that the Michelle Obama we're seeing right now is not the same Michelle Obama that you saw in 1992?
It could be anything because everything's staged now.
The world's a stage.
Everything's staged now. You don't know what's real and what's not real. That's why I'm talking like Pearl's talking about. Nobody knows, like, a woman, is this a real woman? You don't know if you're with a woman or with a man because the lines. You don't know. People
Well, I know. I know because I checked. But
have you heard of that guy that was drugging women on dates by putting Viagra in their drinks just to make sure?
Right now,
what has the world come to?
I know. He's like, I just wanted to double check.
Right now, you don't know what's going on. You don't know.
Do you have transsexuals in Kenya?
Phew. Yeah, one or two. I mean, like, they're there, but
Are they?
They don't go around flaunting it.
I see. So you don't have parades in Kenya?
They're trying to do all that, but it's against the law, So
Kenya is it Kenya more of a Christian or a Muslim country?
it's mixed.
Mixed.
It's mixed.
Okay, so the Christians are going to bend the knee like they do here in America to the. I don't see the Muslims doing it.
No, they're trying to brainwash everybody and try and get like this the new world order. The people are trying to control everything. They're trying to make things in such a way that you don't know whether it's, you can see it's a Pepsi, but they're trying to tell you it's a Coca-Cola.
You're pretty politically correct, my bad.
That's what they're trying to do. They're playing and messing around with everybody's mind.
It's the power of repetition. That's what they did with COVID.
If you try to be real and natural, they're trying to make that abnormal. So everything is like upside down.
So if you have a family,
Yes.
if you take care of your kids, if you have a housewife that you take care of, that's abnormal.
It's abnormal.
You're the fucked up one, right?
That's right.
See, I got it now.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
So they're trying to flip everything.
What your brother wants to do?
That's what he's doing. He's like a what do you call an octopus? You don't know where he stands. He's standing there. He's trying to please everybody. You can't go around pleasing everybody. You got to make a stand. You got to have a spine.
And your brother does not have a
I
spine.
don't think so. No. He's up to it. Whatever is going to make him, stand out.
Last time I talked to you in Miami was around May of this year, and I told you that I believe that Barack Obama is going to start going after Joe Biden. Since that interview in May, countless scandals with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden have been released to the press. Your brother's going for him. But there is a body found right by Obama, his personal chef. How does Obama's personal chef die on Martha's Vineyard? How does that happen? You ever been there?
No, I don't know. Like right now in Hawaii is burning, and I haven't heard him say a thing about it. And that's where he was born.
Oh, so he don't give a fuck.
I don't think he does. He's like just doing something out there, and trying to figure him out. And he's not the person that I knew. He's changed.
Oh, well, when you hold ankles, that's what happens. DeBrute, let me ask you something. When I start saying that the personal chef for Barack Obama was found dead on Martha's Vineyard, what comes to your head? What is it? The Clintons sending messages to old boy? What do you think something like that is?
Yeah, I mean, foul play immediately comes to mind, of course.
Pearl?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know, maybe.
See, this is exactly what we need. We need women to be like that. Oh, I don't know anything about politics. I don't care anything about politics. If that happens, the world will be a much better place. I promise you that.
Yeah, my only politics is women shouldn't vote. That's my biggest politics, sorry.
And I honestly, let me ask you this, bro. If men go out there and say, we will provide certain benefits for women, do you think as a whole they'll give up their right to vote? If say that
No,
they'll give,
I don't think we'll ever give it up because we already get a bunch of rights. We already get a bunch of privileges. We're paid to be single mothers.
Yeah.
We're paid to leave marriages. We also get paid if we stay married. It's like
in California, you don't even have to get married. 6 months, live in the same place, you can start suing the guy for child support.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like what more do we need? We have everything. You can go work. You can go not work. You can go live off the government. You can go live off a man. It's like what else do we need? And what do we still do? We whine. And that's what I realized. I'm like, we just are big whiners. Like we just are never happy. I don't know why.
You can never satisfy a woman.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It just seems to be our nature. I don't know.
I just did a video on this. Corporate land is dominated by women. It's done. Phone it in. Man, I don't think the job space is even a viable market for men anymore. I truly don't. I think it's all dominated by women. Corporations are headed in that direction. But my point in stating that is that there's really only two sectors left of men, in my opinion, who can even find a wife. And this is controversial, but it's losers and the rich. Losers have access to women because, in my opinion, there's a low anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain income spread right now that is very hard for men in the dating market. And that spread, in my opinion, is between like 140 to 250,000 a year income. Those guys are invisible. They're not rich, but they have the kind of jobs that are just hard enough to where there's no women around. So they're having such a tough time. And a lot of these guys,
computer geeks,
100%, the tech guys. And I have access to this market because these are the guys who follow me on Twitter. And they all lament to me over and over again that as soon as they got on their feet and got these higher paying jobs, their dating market completely dried up. It's drier than the Sahara. They cannot find women. When they were losers, they said they were cleaning up. And I think it's because...
Are they going for higher quality women now, though?
I think they are.
Oh, yeah, I think that's probably why.
That's probably why. But I do think that in this culture that's inverted, the ambition of a man who works out routinely, is super shredded, jacked, rich, it yells anxiety. And I think that is what's putting these women off subliminally. I think that women like low anxiety men, which is why I think the loser archetype, for whatever reason, does do well in this kind of market.
It's only the loser if he's hot, though, right? You're telling an ugly loser gets bitches?
That's true.
Oh, okay.
That's true. But then they talk about how, like, gold diggers, and I'm like, how do you bash a gold digger? In my eyes, that makes zero sense, because you mean to tell me that a woman likes you for something that you earned rather than the way that you were born? Like, that's how it should be. A woman should be into you based on what you've earned in this life. So the whole women coming after your money.
Are they going to be loyal, though? If you find a woman when you actually have a big bag, a high percentage of them are not going to be loyal. If you find a woman when you're broke, you bond together, you grow together, she's probably not going to cheat on you when you have the bag.
But that's if you take the nerd route. If you take the nerd route, like Elon's worth $230 billion, can't lock down a woman, still jerking off about Grimes. True. But I do think life experience is what bleeds over to, look, and I've said this on Spaces before, I do believe the single thing that a woman wants the most in a man subliminally, and I've never heard anybody else say this but me, I think ultimately a woman wants to know that she cannot fool or befuddle you. She can't pull one over on you. You see her coming a mile away, you put it in check. She has to know for sure she cannot pull the wool over your eyes on anything. You know when she's lying, you know when she's being sneaky. You just know, you can telegraph it. That only comes from life experience. It doesn't come from business. A lot of these rich crypto kids who are nerds who became very wealthy, they're struggling because they skipped the life part. You got to be in the trenches as a man, suffering pain. You got to learn life. You got to get your heart broken a couple times. That's the root of a man. Once you kind of build that scar tissue and you have that experience, it translates over and you become a gamer. Then
first you get played, then you become a player, correct?
100%.
Okay, yeah, that seems logical. Pearl, anything to say?
No, I agreed with him. I would have said guidance, but it's like the same thing.
Like the same thing.
Yeah. It's like, no, because when you are looking at a guy, you kind of want to see, it's like, can he guide me in the right direction? Yeah.
100%. And I think a lot of these younger guys don't understand that you have to teach all the time. Like that being in a long-term relationship is it's life on hardcore mode. It is the hardest difficulty setting.
And especially like with us, like a bunch of women, like most women weren't raised to be wives. Right? Like even women that like came from 2-parent households, it's like what % of men lead relationships? What % of people have traditional relationships? You know, there's an entire, and like what, I think a third of people were born in 1-parent households now.
Depending on the demographics, much higher.
Yeah.
Depending on the demographics, much higher.
Yeah, but so that's what I mean when I say guidance, because half of guys don't even they don't even know that, you know.
No, they can't even get that part down at all.
Yeah.
Don't communicate, don't sit down, don't teach. You have to explain things.
The computer has done a lot to destroy men's ability to actually know how to talk to women.
100%.
I remember having get-togethers in Vegas, inviting a whole bunch of people, and you would see women sitting at the bar and guys playing video games. And I'm like, you know, I'm married and everything, so I can't really do anything. But I'm looking at these women like, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, playing video games when you have women around who are basically trying to, you know, get to know you and stuff like that. I think these guys don't know how to talk to women. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, I would have laughed at the idea of a coach that tells, you know, guys how to, you know, get women. I would have laughed at that hitch concept. Now, it's a viable market.
Well, but yeah, we also lost community, I think. You know what I mean? Like, people used to have, like, friend groups, or you'd meet, like, the guy down the hall.
You know,
like,
you know your neighbors and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, you know, maybe a guy that didn't know how to talk to...
I hate my neighbor, by the way. Go ahead.
But, you know, like, I don't know any of the neighbors in my building. Or in London, like, I don't know any of them.
I know all the neighbors that have a Trump sign in their front yard. Those are the ones I go and I say, how you doing? Those are the ones I want to break bread with. And basically what you have to understand